Hello, I'm Tony Ellis, and I'm from Radioactive Films, and I'm here today to review one of my personal favorite movies, The Goonies. Produced by Steven Spielberg, but what didn't he produce in the 80s and early 90s that was like big budget and huge and famous and great? But, and was also directed by Richard Donner, who is probably best known for directing all four, and I mean four, of the Lethal Weapon movies. Take that either way you want. Anyway, the characters in the movie, the main character is Mikey, his older brother Brandon, his three friends, Chunk, Mouth, and Data, Brandon's crush, who is Andy, and Andy's friend Steph. Those are basically the main characters, other than the Fratellis, and I'll get into that in a second. Anyway, so the plot of the movie is about how Mikey's moving and is being forced to move because his family can't pay the rent anymore, and the evil people that are making Mikey's family move are gonna, whenever they move, and they're gonna make all the other people move in the neighborhood so that they can build a golf course. Anyway, so on their last weekend together, Mikey's friends and him find this map in Mikey's attic, and it's a map of the surrounding area, and it's about a treasure that One-Eyed Willie had made. So they decide, hey, why not? Let's go on an adventure and find the treasure. It'll be like our last moment together. Well, the unexpected happens, and they get caught up in a murder with the Fratellis, and they also like mess around in caves that are underneath the city that the city was built upon, basically. And so I'm giving the plot a four. A four. Because it's really good, but my problem is that there is a ton of footage that has been cut from this movie. And that's because, like, the original movie was like 5 hours long, and the runtime now is about an hour and 54 minutes, I want to say. And that was pretty long back then. So, and that's the reason why, because there's a lot of, like, plot holes and kind of stuff. Like, the map Mikey has in the beginning, there's nothing wrong with it other than it's like old and crinkly. But like later and like the next couple of scenes, the map is burnt because they cut from it from the movie. They cut the scene whenever they're walking through the grocery store, gas station. It's a gas station. They and then they like Mouth smokes it as a cigar and stuff like that. But they cut that out, so in one scene it's just normal, and then the next scene it's burnt. There's another scene where Data says that they found an octopus and it was crazy. Well, most people think that that's like him exaggerating, but there was an actual scene in the movie where they were attacked by an octopus. And according to the commentary on this version of the movie, which comes with a actor's commentary, it talks about how apparently they were chased by gorillas in one scene, and they also cut out the scene where Chunk and Sloth are running to find the other people. But that's the reason why I give it a 4. Next is the acting. The acting is really good. Like, all of the actors work with each other. It's just like they pick perfect actors pretty much. Corey Feldman is great at Mouth. Anyway, so yes, and like the Fratellis, they're squabbling brothers and their abusive mother, and well, Sloth, he's locked up in special. So I'm not gonna count Sloth because just see the movie. But anyway, they work together really good. So I give the acting a 4.5. So the next part is the visual part. This movie looks really good. There's not like CGI and great things like that because it was made in the 80s. So everything's like done like real, and it works out really good. all like the traps look good. Even Sloth, it took them 5 hours to make Sloth's makeup. 5 hours, according to IMDb. But anyway, so yes, the visual look, phenomenal. 5. Finally, is it fun to watch? Of course it's fun to watch. I've watched this movie more times than I've probably ever watched any movies combined. I've I watched this one time. I watched this movie for like once to twice a day for like 2 months straight. I love this movie. It's fantastic. I don't care any. There's so many funny parts in this movie too, but I don't want to spoil them for anybody that hasn't never watched this movie. Anyway, so of course I'm going to give it a 5. And so in a review, plot is a 4, acting 4.5, visually it's a 5, and is it fun to watch? It's a 5. And that works out to be about a 4.5. Thank you. I'm Radioactive Ellis, and that was my old thing. I'm Tony Ellis, and I'm happy that you watched this review.